How are you all going out there? It's Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand and author of Candida Crusher. Thanks for checking out my video once again. I do appreciate your views to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe because this channel is going to just get better and better over time. I can promise you that. Right, we're going to talk about the 12 different principles I believe make up the Candida Crusher perseverance principles. So if anything's worth sticking to, it's worth sticking to if the plan is good, particularly if you have got a good feeling that the outcome is going to be very satisfactory. So people with Candida have got one thing in mind, especially when they've got chronic yeast infection. They want to get rid of this damn infection. They want to crush this damn thing. So out of my book, I'm going to read you some of my perseverance tips, and I think these are some of the best. You'll need to discipline yourself. So people have probably bought my ebook and looking at this channel because they really want good information that's going to help them finally crush that yeast infection. They're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So if you can't discipline yourself, you're not really going to get anything in life, regardless of what it is, whether you're looking for more income or a better career, a better social life, a better sex life, a better health life, better whatever life. If you don't stick with principles and keep working, at it, you're just not going to get it. It's as simple as that. Here's a good quotation. If I want to be great, I have to win the victory over myself. Self-discipline. So I've written here a few things I'll just read out to you. Have you had enough and you finally want to commit? Then you're already halfway there in getting rid of the problem that's been plaguing you for ages, but beware of the pitfalls and traps all along the way which can sabotage your attempts to rid yourself of Candida, like parties, barbecues, dining out, Christmas, weddings and similar social occasions. So plan your outings and don't fall into temptations of ending up with a glass of wine or beer in your hand and a slice of pizza when you said 2 days previous that you weren't going to do this. Right? So in chapter 7 of my book I explain a little bit more about lifestyle, and you can really read up on that and get a good feeling for how important it is to have the right lifestyle when it comes to getting rid of Candida. Tip number 2. Don't give up because of laziness. There's a lot of lazy people out there. They just want a quick fix. They just want a pill. I never designed dietary supplements for lazy people. I designed them for the icing on the cake. Right? If you've got everything else in place and you take a quality product, you're going to nail the infection. But don't, have a sloppy lifestyle and expect a recovery. It's not going to work if you just take a handful of pills from the doctor or other kind of pills. If a life without Candida is your aim, and that's obviously why you're reading this, you must understand there are no shortcuts to perfect health. Life and optimal health is a journey, not a destination. Living a lazy, easy lifestyle will never be satisfying in the long run. In fact, it usually leads to feelings of unhappiness, being overweight and out of shape, having fatigue, and all this can potentially lead to anxiety and depression. So you've got to pick up the slack. That's what I'm trying to say here. Get off your butt and do things, and you'll feel a lot better for it. Now, what was the quotation for that one? Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. That was from Thomas Edison. Third tip, pursue your true desire for optimal health. Never giving up on ridding yourself of a chronic yeast infection, particularly if you've had many health challenges for years and you can't go a day without thinking about a complete recovery. A lot of the time we aren't really going after a complete resolution of our problems because of some underlying fear or insecurity. And many people I find recover, but they only recover to the extent where the symptoms not giving them bother anymore. But they still have the causes going on that prop up the symptoms in the background. We end up pursuing a very average life, and this way we never end up feeling fantastic and live our life to a full potential. This is why you must really go after what your heart desires, an excellent state of health, free from yeast infection. This can be very difficult because of social conditioning, peer pressure, and many of society's implied rules, which you're raised with, like drinking alcohol, taking antibiotics routinely, eating cookies, drinking soda drinks, and even eating ice cream regularly. So once you keep in this circle of eating and drinking these sorts of things, you're not really achieving, your true desire of eradicating the yeast infection. You've got to get to the root cause of these darn habits and learn to break them finally, right? The quote, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. The fourth one, never give up due to little or lack of progress. This will take care of itself if you're pursuing your true desire, because your desire will be so strong that a seemingly slow progress will become irrelevant. However, there still will be times where you might become discouraged because of the slow or lack of progress in your recovery. Remember that while in a blockbuster movie you can see a character progress or change his whole lifestyle in 2 hours, in real life this progress is a hell of a lot slower, okay? It can take 20 years. So this is why a lot of people don't stick with their goals, because they're unrealistic goals, okay? They're not time-bound, you know, or maybe the urgency is too strong when it comes to the time-bound. They don't give themselves enough time, you know, to really understand the outcome. Aim for a steady, slow progress, and above all, remember the ups and downs you're likely to encounter when you recover. The quotation for this one is, "Most of the important things in this world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all." Well, that was me when I had my yeast infection in my 20s, when the doctor basically said I need to see a psychiatrist, and I believed there was no hope at all. I never gave up in believing in myself, thinking that one day I'd be perfectly well. Right? So never give up. Fifth one, success is a lot closer than you think. Your success might just be around the corner. You may be surprised how close you are to beating the beast called yeast. Okay, so perseverance is a really big thing, and not giving up. Many people will tell you that they almost failed completely, but they hung in there and then they won the game. And that can be you too, all right? Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas Edison. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. Perseverance number 6. Always be flexible and willing to change. This is a key thing in Candida Crusher. The flexibility of your diet and lifestyle. I don't believe in rigid diets. I don't believe in you have to eat these foods and you can't eat those foods, because that's going to change depending on how your gut evolves and develops over time. The foods you can't tolerate now, maybe in 2 weeks or 2 months you can tolerate perfectly well. So don't be rigid in your approach. I've seen too many rigid patients with these very fixed one-track minds when it comes to diet. It's pretty dumb. It's like religion, you know. If you're on this one-track mind, you're pushing everyone else aside. You're all hell-bent on believing what you want to believe in. If I had $1 every time I heard a patient say, I can't take supplements, I just forget to take them, or I don't like to swallow any pills, or there's no way I could eat like that, then I'd be a rich guy. Please don't let your current identity or self-image limit the pursuit of your ultimate health goal. Always be willing to make the necessary changes, to try new and different foods, to learn new skills like laughing, relaxing, breathing deeply, and more. Be willing to look like a fool every now and then. All right? So you have to break the mold. The quote for this one from Anthony Robbins: "How am I going to live today in order to create tomorrow, the tomorrow I'm committed to?" Right? Number 7, start visualizing the new you today. This is the thing that I often tell patients that are down in the dumps or get quite depressed about things. I say to them, you've had too much negative self-talk. Start thinking about the kind of person that you really want to be and visualize that person in your mind. There are many books written about these kinds of, ways of thinking, and it will really help you to get out of that sort of doldrums that you're in. Don't knock it. Visualization is very powerful, particularly if you use it more and more. Whatever your goal or endeavor you're pursuing, close your eyes and start visualizing yourself as having achieved it. Visualize how happy you will feel as a result of optimal functioning digestive system. No bloating, no constipation or diarrhea. Visualize beautiful skin, a sweet breath, lots of energy, no headaches, no thrush. Just visualize for one moment that you could go from day to day enjoying your body and never have to worry about any symptoms anymore. So visualize improved sex life. Visualize waking up in the morning with loads of energy. Visualize being successful around people and being confident around people. This is going to propel you much closer to your goal much sooner than you would ever expect. The quote for this one: self-discipline is an act of cultivation. It requires you to connect today's actions to tomorrow's results. There's a season for sowing and a season for reaping, and self-discipline helps you know which is which. 8th tip: add strong emotions to your goals. So those goals I just mentioned before, if you've got a very powerful emotion behind it, like feeling absolutely amazing because your relationship's improved, and put emotional spin on it, it's going to really cement that thought, that visualization much deeper, and make it a much stronger part of you that you want to become. If you set yourself a goal of just getting better, then this is just a goal, a few words or a meaningless sentence. However, once you add a strong emotion, it starts to take on a whole new meaning and becomes part of you. Achieving the goal of optimizing your health becomes a stronger part of your character. Let's say you set the following goal: I want to cure myself of a yeast infection. This is a very plainly stated goal. What does it look like when you add emotions? I want to get rid of my yeast infection permanently because I'm sick and tired of when I go out eating with friends that I can only eat a limited range of foods. Or perhaps I want to get rid of my vaginal thrush permanently because it's causing a lot of tension between me and my partner. Maybe this one: after 10 years of digestive problems, I want to be able to be free of bowel problems like bloating and pain and gas, and know what it's like to have a slim waist again. So when you think about that, you visualize the nice clothes that you can fit in. You visualize how comfortable you feel around people, how you don't have to be awkward and dash out to the bathroom anymore. When you think about the vaginal thrush, you think about the intimate relations that you're going to be enjoying. So all these things will make it easier for you to stay on track and to commit to that change. The quote for this from Napoleon Hill: strongly, deeply rooted desire is the starting point of all achievement. So if you have that desire strong enough, then the commitment won't be far behind. All right? Number 9, use your personal network for support. The best resource is your personal network. You will have a circle of contacts and friends and family who are willing to support your recovery. It's your job to communicate effectively to your network by being clear and about what your intentions are, and that you'd appreciate some support in your quest to permanently kick a yeast infection. So it helps to be specific when approaching friends, to give them information like, I'm avoiding alcohol for several months, guys, and I'd appreciate some support. This is a very smart thing to do, okay, because it will help people to see that you're serious about wanting to commit and make change. And not only that, guess what? You'll probably find some of your friends will come along for the ride and cut back too, all right? The quote for this one, from Lennon and McCartney: I get by with a little help from my friends. You might know that song from the 70s. Perseverance tip number 10, use my multi-staged approach. The successful treatment of an overgrowth of Candida needs a multi-stage approach. In my professional experience, all 5 aspects of the Candida pressure program need to be carefully followed in sequence, otherwise you'll get average results. My clinical observations have shown this repeatedly with several hundred patients. I want you to forget the magic pill that will cure you. It's just not going to happen. Okay. But following the Candida Crusher program is not a walk in the park. But as I say in my book, it doesn't have to be a 1-year hike in the wilderness either. Okay, there's clearly defined principles outlined in my book that are easy to follow for you. And if you follow them, you're going to get the same success that thousands of patients have had. We're clocking up over 20,000 Candida patients now that have been through the Candida Crusher program. That's pretty phenomenal. I'm quite proud about that. So the quote for this one: make at least one definite move daily towards your goal. Bruce Lee. So what's your daily goal today? Are you going to cut that glass of wine back? Going to go for a walk? What's your daily goal? Think about it. I want you to think about that right now, your daily goal. Perseverance tip number 11. Winners never quit and quitters never win. I want you to know that a permanent solution can and will happen, providing you stay true to your word and follow the plan. Look for examples at sports professionals. They follow the rules of the game carefully. Okay? They persist with much training, and the outcome is most always assured success in their field. The winner takes it all. So, and you can shoot for goal too, but remember, you have to train on a daily basis. Now, training doesn't have to, you don't have to spend 5 or 6 hours a day in the swimming pool. Training could mean understanding cause and effect, the things you eat that are going to do you good or do you bad, the amount of movement that your body needs to have per day, the kind of emotions that you need to, express yourself with to people, how you act and don't react to people. All these things really make up part of your training. And again, that's why I wrote Candida Crusher. The quote for this one: we must all suffer from one or two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Perseverance tip number 12. Regularly review these words from Calvin Coolidge. Nothing in the world can take place with perseverance. Talent will not. Nothing in the world is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is a proverb. Education is not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. That's a brilliant saying, and I'm going to leave you on that. So you can read that in Candida Crusher. That was the 12 perseverance tips on how you can crack this yeast infection. Thank you for tuning in.